2, 3, 4. It started out on an Arizona highway. That law was behind me going my way. And before I knew it, they had me walking a line. Yeah, wouldn't you know it, I stood just fine. They probed my eyes with a bright light. And that damn old officer said, son, ain't working right. I get the Tin City Blue, nothing to gain and so much to lose.
Well, thank you for tuning in. This is Matt Santos, and you are listening to The Mile High Show. This will be episode 166, and it was recorded right here in my garage at what I have dubbed, what are we calling it? Lizard Lane Productions, because we're doing as I have been for years in this location. We've been doing photos in the photo studio here. And then since launching the Mile High Show in 2014, off and on, I will record, intros and outros and an episode here or there, mainly the solo ones, right here in the garage. But I've set up now where I'm going to start recording more of the interviews here as well, because we have a little bit of a recording space set up where we could do some videos, audio for some of our musicians and some of the video clips and photos and stuff. We are the plan is to at some point set it up so we can open it up for a little audience. There's room for maybe a 15, maybe 20, or, obviously less if nobody shows up. But we've got space for some folding chairs and some benches and stuff here in the garage, and a little recording area and a performance area for some of the singer-songwriters that join me here on mic. So we're in the process of doing that and setting that up, and to practice with that and to test it. This week I had a friend of the show and sometimes co-host and sometimes host, Mr. Sky Daddy Conwell. He is a solo performer as well as the frontman for Sky Daddy and the Pop Rocks. SkyDaddy.net is where you can find him on there. And also the frontman for one of the area's premier Johnny Cash tribute bands, 99 Years. You can find them at 99yearsband.com. Sky came in the other day, and we set up some lights and some video cameras and some recording equipment. And we recorded a couple of songs. I've got one or two of those up on Instagram, on YouTube and Facebook now. So follow the Mile High Show's social media links for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff at milehighshow.com. Those links are right up there in the upper right corner. And you can see some of those clips. Last week, we were over at Darren Mahoney's spot. Darren Mahoney is the owner and operator of Mahoney Guitars, custom-made guitars, and also a performer in his own right, an extremely talented and proficient guitarist who plays various types of music, including what do they call it? I don't know what they call it. It's kind of a meditative jazz and guitar and all kind of cool stuff. We were at his place. We recorded some video of him there, so that's also on our YouTube channel. And then today we sat down, Darren Mahoney, myself, Leslie Earl Lyman running the boards and making sure the sound came out all right for today's guest, Mr. Danny Romero, the frontman of the Arizona Territory Band, Arizona Territory Duo and Trio, and Danny Romero solo, singer-songwriter, guitarist. His info is at DannyRomeroMusic.com. We recorded a few video clips, some songs of his today, so we will put those up soon. And today's episode is myself, Danny Romero, and Leslie Earl Lyman just hanging out, freezing our butts off in this garage because it is awful cold in here. And that's one of the things we're going to do is slap some of that pink insulation up on the walls so we can we can not have to see our breath unless we're eating some onions or something. But it was really cold in here. So thank you, Danny and Les and Darren and Sky, for coming over to my freezing cold garage and letting me play around with lights and cameras. And then Danny, like I said, Danny and Les sat down with me after we recorded so that we can talk a little bit about Danny's career, his music, and his electrician business as well. Plugged some of his current electrician clients, a couple new restaurants in the area. So listen for those. Again, you can check out DannyRomeroMusic.com. You can also follow Danny Romero on Facebook and his Arizona Territories band page and Instagram and all that. He gives all that on the podcast. And also Leslie Earl Lyman, not a serial killer. You can find him on Facebook as well. So listen, we'll talk. Hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed it, sitting down and talking with these two old friends and no strangers to these microphones. But we got a little update. We talked about Danny's new EP that's coming out, being recorded currently at the Raven Studios in Prescott and produced by Dylan Ludwig over there at Raven Studios. So shout out to Dylan and the folks at Raven. Danny's loving it over there. George Janik and Jordan Brambilla, I think, is his last name, the fiddle player, and George on guitar. They are in it as well as some other musicians. So listen in, enjoy that, and look for Daniel Romero's EP, 6-track, I think, 5 or 6-track EP that will be released hopefully in the spring. So we talk a little bit about his recording experience, the surprises that he found in studio, being primarily a live music performer. And again, thanks, guys, for sitting down. All of our back episodes are available at milehighshow.com, as well as our Amazon link, where you can shop away and do your online shopping like you normally do, but you use that link, and it lets Amazon know you got there through us, and they give us a little thank you at the end of the month. It's a way to support the show, help us build up this studio, help us keep the equipment in order, and helps us support the artists, musicians, and performers, and all-around good folk that we highlight on this podcast. So please support us so we can support them. Another way you can support us is using that Audible link. You have access to over 180,000 audio titles, including books, novels, magazines, lectures, comedy, podcasts, comedy albums, routines, Audible exclusive content as well. And you get a free audio download, absolutely free audio download, and a free 30-day subscription by clicking that Audible link at milehighshow.com and using the code MileHigh at checkout. Please do so. It's a nice payoff for us, and it gets you free stuff. If you don't like it, you can cancel within that 30 days and keep that original free audio download. So check out their great collection there. And also BarkBox, Happy Pets Make Happy Homes. Use that link and shop away and get free treats for your furry friends right there at milehighshow.com. Let's recap. Audible, use the code MileHigh at checkout. Amazon and BarkBox, just click on the link and shop away. You support the show that way, so I don't have to go to your house and borrow money, and I can afford to buy drinks and food for guests like this week's Leslie Earl Lyman and Danny Romero. Enjoy.
City blues, nothing to gain, so much to lose. Well, City blue, line on my military.
I love that thing, dude. That's a 30-year-old picture.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing is,
Big
man,
lady
is
owns
that
the rug.
the thing is that like, and it can happen for you fast. I mean, like a really good example of how quick it can happen for you if everything comes together is like, look what happened to Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah.
The guy, 2 years from like being some dude that was like a brakeman and like he's working on the railroad to like, all of a sudden he's like, like somebody like in Nashville, and he's like cutting an album and losing his mind.
Yeah, but see, he had to have somebody somebody had to help that guy.
Well, yeah, but
he also had
somebody. He also had to like.
Besides his talent speaking for him.
Well, yeah, but he also had to to go do it. I mean, and like you had to really just sort of like do that thing where that you like what's that leap of faith step and that Indiana Jones. You had to go like that.
Yeah, he had a discussion with his wife, and she said, if you're going to do this, you need to go do it now.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, dude, and that's
you're talking to his wife.
You're talking to his wife. It's
What's going on here?
But dude,
does Mary know about this?
I mean, that you got to have that too. Particularly, I mean, if you have a woman in your life. I mean, I'm so blessed with that.
She supports everything that I do.
Actually, my wife is more of a blessing for her because it gets me out of the house, man.
Yeah.
Go do something and stop bothering me. I'm gardening. We're grandparents. Leave me alone.
Because you're old. I'm young because I have a young son. That's what I age everything on. I got buddies of mine that are in their 30s that are almost grandparents now.
Yeah.
And I tell them, you're old because you got grown kids. I have an 8-year-old, which means I'm young. Right?
You know what I mean?
How it works?
And denial is not just a river in Egypt, man.
He spends more time with me lately since I've been working out of the house the last couple of years. So Friday is his day off of school, and it's Sandra's day off of work.
Woohoo!
So she spends every Friday correcting all the stuff that I did during the week. Peeing outside. Why do you let him pee outside?
I know my wife.
Because we live on an acre in the country.
Know, right. My wife doesn't get that neither.
Well, but it's like how can people know that it's your house if you don't pee in all the corners?
Well, no. What I do is you see that shed right out there, right in front of where I'm parked. In between the garage and the shed is the men's room. That's the alley. That's what we call an alley. So watch your step. Danny, all right. First off, plug away what you've been doing. Your business first, because I want to talk to you about a couple of the jobs you were on.
Okay. Well, currently, I started my business back up a little over a year ago, and it's been pretty amazing what I've been able to accomplish, if I do say so for myself. It took me 5 years to get back, of course, to get my strength after losing my leg. And in the last year of work, I've had 3 to 5 guys, and I bought a couple vans. And I've got my commercial license, my commercial electrical license, and I've been off to the races.
I remember back in the day when you were living in Paulden, you had the red pickup and the red box trailer.
Yeah.
And that's when I would go when I would go home, because I used to live off of Bramble. So when I would pass when I would pass you, Danny's home. Danny got a ride home last night.
Right.
Your truck wasn't there.
Well, the bank ended up taking that truck, and it's been
it's probably parked next to my old white one. That bank
in the
gets
scrap
a
heap.
lot of cars.
But the bank took that one, so it's weird. Like I said, I bought 2 vans. Not used to driving vans. For me, it was a huge adjustment because I always used trucks. But boy, I've learned very quickly that it was silly to try to run an electrical business out of a truck and not a van.
I love vans because you always got somewhere to sleep when somebody changes the locks at home. But plug what your business? What is it? How do folks reach you?
Well, the business name now is REC Electric, and of course, I've been licensed in this.
REC.
Yeah, REC Electric. Romero Electrical Contracting. I started my business in Arizona in 2005, so I've carried my license for 13 years? 15 years.
Again, that means you're old.
Oh, gosh. Well, I was young when I started it, But anyway,
before
so
the grays came in.
Yeah.
See, I don't have gray hair either. I pluck them all, and this is what I ended up with.
You need to get that stuff off your lip.
I know you still have a full head of hair. It looks like you just choose to shave it.
I have to. It's weird. I think I told you before. It was about I want to say like 07, 08. I woke up with this is the only thing I can compare it to. Because years ago, for a short period of time, I did construction. You hammer nails in those little chips, those little hot chips. Pop off the nails and you get those little burns on your head, the little flakes. I woke up one night about 2 a.m. and my head was burning, and I thought I got bit by something. So my wife woke up because obviously I woke up and I'm not real quiet, and I went in the bathroom. I thought I got bit by something, and I looked and I was bleeding, and there was nothing there, no bite. So I rinsed out my hair. I was looking, and I had
some metal in there.
No, I had a couple of bumps. So I washed out my hair, went back to bed. It felt better. A couple days later, same thing happened. So, but I was breaking out, little tiny red dots on my scalp. So I go to the doc. I called the doctor, the walk-in here in Chino. And I said, it's probably just an allergic reaction if you switched shampoos or something. And we hadn't, but because my hair is really thin and really straight, I always use some kind of product in it. Otherwise, it would just flood. So I stopped using any kind of gels or anything. That didn't work. Switched shampoos, that didn't work. And every few days, it would start burning, and these bumps would get bigger and bigger. But they were. My wife would touch them; they were hot to the touch.
What?
So I go back to the doctor. They say, "Oh no, it's probably just an allergic reaction." And then one night, it was bugging me so much. I was washing my hair, and I couldn't really see them. So I said, "Forget it." I shaved my head, and it went away. I wanted to see it better, and as soon as I was done shaving it, I wiped it off. I'm looking, and I could see them shrinking. And so I go back to the doctor. They go, "Oh, no, that's probably nothing to do with it." Well, I kept my head shaved, and then I let it grow. It got to about a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and they came back. And I'd shave it again. They'd go away. And then about 8 months later, I'm in California going to visit some family, and I bump into a cousin I hadn't seen in years. And he goes, "Hey, how long you been shaving your head?" And I said, "It's the oddest thing." And as I'm telling him what happened, he goes, "Same thing happened to me."
Yeah.
And then Uncle so-and-so, same thing. There's like 3 or 4 people in our family that were allergic to our own hair. Now I think it's just completely, I think it's completely mental. Because before the bumps even come, when I let my hair grow, because I hate shaving my hair. I hate my shaved head. I don't like it. I wish I could have hair. But now when it starts getting longer, even before the bumps come, it starts bothering me. So now I think it's just a psychosomatic thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
So of all the things that are wrong with me, mentally
maybe all those maggots in your brain are trying to come out.
I think so. But it's really weird. So it'll break out, and every once in a while I'll get them like on my chest or on my arm, but on my head. Doesn't happen on my face, but on my head. I break out when I have hair. I thought they were ingrown hairs, allergic, nothing. It's just whenever the hair starts growing, I break out.
So Danny, where's your next gig, man?
No, I want to still talk about your electronic business.
Oh, we're still talking about that?
Well, you got. Well,
I thought we were talking about the bumps on your head.
No, I
man.
got sidetracked because I'm sitting with old gray-haired people, and I figured I needed to talk a little more to let the elderly collect their thoughts, and evidently it worked because you started thinking about something.
Well,
you've been working. You had a big job. You just posted something on Instagram, which is give me your Instagram.
Oh yeah. Well. My Instagram is Danny Romero Sasueta, and Zazueta.
I'll stick links in the notes.
There was a picture of a restaurant I just finished, and I'm really proud of it. A Mexican restaurant. It's one of the most beautiful restaurants I've ever
Prescott Valley?
seen. Yeah, it's in Prescott Valley. It's called Casa Perez. The owner of it was, he still owns the Puerto Vallarta, the green one out there in Dewey.
On the highway, just south of, as you're leaving Prescott.
Yeah, he still owns that, but he also opened up this new one, Casa Perez, and it's just beautiful, and I'm so proud.
Why are we sitting in our garage instead of eating at a new restaurant on your dime?
Yeah. You'd think I got a free meals for a year, since all the lights turn on, and all the ovens work. No. But it's gorgeous, and I'm really proud of it. I never, ever thought a year and a half ago that my first year in business would end up literally on the year mark. We finished that restaurant, and it was a neat thing.
Now, are you doing mainly like commercial stuff now?
Both residential and commercial.
You had some of the fitness centers you were doing the signage.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
did.
for?
I entirely did Snap Fitness in town. Lord, we did concrete work, we did sheetrock, but I wired the entire thing. Yeah. I'm really proud to be a part of that because it turned out to be a beautiful project. And, of course, that was in town. We did also finished up the Snap here in Chino. Yeah. I did some work in Munns on a Service Master over there as well as like an ATV rental. I don't know, those things. Those things are so popular anymore. The big quad
stuff,
things. Though. Yeah, commercial work is what I would rather do. I love commercial work. I learned.
What's the difference? Why? What are some of the without going through your contact list and naming names.
The biggest,
what are some of the problems with residential?
The biggest thing about residential is that you're dealing very closely with the client. And they want this and they want that, or they don't like this or they don't like that. And you got, an electrical is the most heavily regulated and inspected trade in the trades. So there is a lot going on in a house, just like there is in commercial, with the exception of in commercial work, there's not as many requirements. Like in a house, you got to have so many receptacles along a floor. You got to have so many lights within these areas and GFI protected stuff and arc fault breakers. In a commercial building, just get the light. Everything is overhead. Like all the work is done overhead in conduit, the infrastructure where all the wiring is ran. You got lights and switches for lights. And if you're doing a restaurant, you got ovens. And that's it.
And plus, when you're dealing commercial, so this is what I find with photography and other things I do. When I'm working for a company, commercial stuff, they're used to dealing with contractors, vendors, invoicing, things like that. A lot of times that's not the top concern or even on the radar of somebody that's doing a private thing at their home, family portrait, something like that. So if somebody's remodeling a house, their vision, and this is what I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, their vision is this is how I want it to be, and this is my ultimate goal, and they're not always sure how to get there, which is why they hire an expert like yourself or a painter or a drywall or whatever. But they have their vision of what they want it to be, and a lot of times trying to get involved with the nuts and bolts to get there, whereas a commercial client is like, well, this is my business. I'm hiring you to do that. Let me know when it's done.
Right. Kind of That's exactly right. I've learned in the last year that with tenant improvements, which there's a ton, that's usually what we do. Yeah, they want to open doors. So it's okay, here's the light schedule. This is what the requirements are as far as the panels and service, Get it done. I want to open my doors in 3 months, and
money.
That's it. Like I said, it's crazy to me that there's no code requirement for receptacles along. I mean, and that saves a ton. Like I said, all the work is done overhead. Where you run all your wire and where all your infrastructure is for your conduit bending.
Quick question. All right, so there's no code for like the amount of receptacles you can like in a commercial building.
You don't have to have one if you don't want it.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's why you can go into a restaurant and you want to plug in your laptop or your phone charger. And there's nothing there.
Well, I guess my question, that's interesting to me because like, how are you supposed to vacuum the rug?
Well,
are you supposed to do basic
Well, that's
stuff?
a very good question, Les. That's a very good question. So, like in the fitness center, I purposely located receptacles in places for stuff exactly like that. That's a really good question because it's reality. It's like, well, if we got nothing to plug in, how are we going to clean anything? And
Well, and plus, typically on, like, say, a restaurant or an office building, well, offices would be a little different because they got computers and things, but like, say, a restaurant, a lot of them don't have places where you can plug in a laptop or a charger or something. Right. Some do, but a lot don't.
Right.
But when they're having somebody come in and clean, they're having a contractor come in and clean.
Right.
It's not like at home where you got a vacuum with a 10-foot cord.
Right.
You're hiring a company to come in and clean.
Right.
It's up to them. Bring in 50 feet of cord.
Right.
That's your job.
And they're prepared for that usually, probably. But it's a good question, nonetheless, because... Yeah.
As we hit this digital age, everybody on their smartphones and iPads and stuff like that, most places now are offering like Wi-Fi or receptacles to charge and stuff, but a lot of places don't because they don't want you parking there for 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
They need turnover on the table so they can make more money. So that's
why the Palace is so good for us because they won't throw us out.
That's one of the things I always look for when we go eat or somewhere. I get coffee. I start looking around. Okay, can I plug in somewhere? Because I'll spend money if I can sit there and make money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like the Palace is for sale, man.
No,
it's still.
Someone bought it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wonder what they give.
Can you speak to that or not?
Yeah, it's in escrow.
It's like, well, I saw that they were looking for $1.5 million.
Now this is what I heard.
And I'm like, 1.2.
Without speaking out of school or spreading rumors, it was a someone with a history and association who is now taking it over. So the
Everything will stay
fears
the
that it
same.
was going to become Mick Palace is not going to happen.
Thank God.
Well,
yes.
the biggest thing about that room to me, right, is Molly Hatchet played there. That place used to be
Has
rock.
some
It was
history,
a rock
huh?
bar. It was a rock bar, man. And then, and I found that out on the backside. And you go in there now, man, and
It's a restaurant.
And it's like a mini Williamsburg, like you go in there and there's like people in period stuff, and they pay people to hang around and be,
And there's some people who just haven't
that do
updated
that.
their wardrobe, and they just look like that. Anyway.
Well, there's that.
There's a
but-
couple of guys that
yeah.
I've seen in there that I'm pretty sure palled around with Doc Holliday.
I love playing in there.
Uncle Bob.
It's definitely it's an interesting place just to go in because they have
It's made to look like it was when they opened it.
Best thing about the Palace? Best thing? Tachos.
You like those things, huh?
Tater tot nachos. Me and Anthony tear them up.
Oh, I love playing there every
Yeah.
Friday, man.
Well,
I
dude,
do.
that was your home. Or
It is.
still is
It's
your
a lot
home.
of
man.
fun.
And thank God it still will be because ownership is not. It's I can't.
That's
I don't
good.
want to speak on it.
But your job is safe.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Real quick, because I want to pop over and get Les's contact stuff, but who are you playing with now? And we'll get back to music in a little bit. Because aside from the electrical business that you run, that you've been running for a while, you are also one of the staples of the Prescott and surrounding music scenes down into Cave Creek, Wickenburg, everything else. Who are you playing with? Because there's a couple of incarnations of what you do, Danny.
Yeah, well, mostly it's I play with Jordan Brambilla, who's an incredible fiddle player. He's 19 years old. No, he's 20 now. He's 20 now. He's an incredible fiddle player.
So
him and I, I'm doing a lot of acoustic work because the bands are hard to book.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, in Prescott, there's no place for a country band anymore. Unless you want to play Matt's, but Matt sucks. And I won't even walk through the doors.
To boil it down, you play with a band, you got to split that up 5 ways.
Yeah, it's hard to book the bands because they cost more money.
Yeah.
So, and Les knows, when you diversify like any other business, you stay busy.
And
so I'm playing 3 or 4, 2 to 3, 4 nights a week.
And is that still under the Territory banner or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so what?
I'll do the Arizona Territory duo or
okay.
trio, but mostly I've been putting my name on it lately.
Gotcha.
Because
So your branding is Danny
I'm trying
Romero.
to brand my name as humbly as I can.
So,
I'm not very good at it.
And I'll put links up, but your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook pages, there's a couple of different ones.
Yeah.
Your
Instagram's my favorite.
Yeah. It seems to be the
I
one
like
you're more
Instagram.
Your Twitter seems to be more involved with hitting up the the sports talk radio. We'll get to that too. Les, plug away where folks can reach you, what you've got going in the pipeline for music, and hopefully, I don't know if you have any insight on it, but what's going on locally here in Chino come springtime? Is that settled yet?
Yeah. We'll start with where I'm playing next. I am gonna probably be. I'm definitely playing like St. Patrick's Day, a weekend, Friday, Saturday at the Prescott Winery, which is a very nice room. It's perfect for me. I love restaurants. I sit in a corner. I play music. People can enjoy or not. And they mostly enjoy. Like they interact or whatever. I guess maybe that's but it's an interesting room. It's a bigger. It's maybe a less scenic thing than they had on Alarcon, but certainly a bigger room, and the food is
it's over at Frontier Village, right?
Yeah, Frontier Village. The food is like to die for. It's like I mean, I'm certainly like bring me the carbs and everything like that. And they serve they have gluten free this and vegan that, and it's all like ridiculously good. Yeah. I was like, really? This is vegan? I could eat this all day. It's like it was a vegan dessert, but still.
One of the places you used to frequent previously was Cork and Cuisine.
Yes.
which is now what, Rafter 11?
Yeah, Rafter 11.
I need to get over there, but Cork and Cuisine I miss because the staff over there and the food was excellent. Now Sherry, she's involved over there with
Sherry is not involved at Rafter 11. Sherry is, to my knowledge, she's the general manager at the Prescott Winery now.
So she's bringing in her expertise, the stuff that we used to enjoy over there, because I've been following her posts on Facebook and stuff. So if you were a fan of Cork and Cuisine, head on over there, hear some music, and get some good food and stuff. What else you got?
It's summer is coming, and so summer's coming, and I think as the weather gets nice, I think I may wander over to Eric's Big Daddy E's and sit.
Is he open again?
Well, he was open all winter. He was open all winter, man.
I don't know, my life's so busy.
Well, dude, if you could just swing by there and get some barbecue.
God, his food's great.
Oh yeah, it's
BBEBBQ.com, open Tuesday through Friday. The unofficial sponsor
over there.
I'm booked. I'm booked once a month over the summer.
On Fridays, right?
Yeah. Well, it was the last Friday.
Yeah. For you, but in the warmer months, he's running music Fridays because he's open a little later.
It'll be Friday. I think I don't know. He wants. I think he would like to have more music over there. And dude, you should go get a gig and
it's on Fridays, man.
Dude, you could give up a Friday.
I love my Palace gigs,
you
man.
You could give up a Friday, man.
I'll have to talk to him. Who's booking it?
Sky is booking it. So you got to in already, man. And I'll put in a good word for you. But the thing, remember you said you got to diversify your gigs, man. Come play in Chino. We missed you, man.
And if Eric wants to expand, maybe add another night or two.
Which would be cool.
Right.
Which would be cool.
And he's built a little stage back there.
Yeah, the tiny but mighty stage, man.
That's awesome.
His son.
See, I love that, man. Nobody in Chino does anything like this.
Well, I
love that.
I think that one of the things I really am interested in, always, is kicking music scenes along. There's a music scene out here that's just waiting to happen. We have there's the three venues, right? There's Eric's Place, and there's the winery, and then there's El Charro Norte, and people are playing out here, and the population demographic out here is changing as well.
Insurgent runs some music periodically. And Jack Osborne plays there every once in a while.
And but people people also, man, feel Prescott is far away, and why would you know what I mean? So maybe they want to stay here and spend some money in Chino, and spend some money in Chino. But there's that. One of the things I do want to speak to, and I've run, Sky Conwell is doing a couple of open jams, and those things are so important to any kind of music scene. They're so important to any kind of music scene because it really is sort of like a place where we can all go hang out and meet other people and play. And they usually sort of get dismissed as, kind of because sometimes, it can be bad. Sometimes, karaoke can be bad. But we have a huge amount of talent here, man, and like I tell people, some people go bowling, and so I love these things he goes out to.
Well, he's running the one every other Sunday at Sidekicks. And what's the other ones he's doing?
But he's doing the one at Jersey Lily
on Wednesday evenings.
Yeah, Wednesdays. He's sometimes oh gosh, I forget Glenn's last name, but sometimes Glenn will run if Sky's got a gig or whatever. But if you go to these things, see these people come out and play. Last night I played in the stage at Jersey Lily with myself, a Grammy winning drummer, Jim Blair, Rick Prince, who is once again a really superly talented bass player, songwriter kind of guy.
And that upstairs at Jersey's rocks.
It rocks.
It's such a small little spot.
Yeah, I love Jersey's.
Don't forget free popcorn.
Free popcorn. And then
I love Jersey's. It's a great place.
It's a great little room.
And great people. It's a good clientele.
Yeah. The sidekicks thing is a bigger room, but dude, it's in PV. So it's like
I'm trying not to bash certain things.
Well, you know what? Sidekicks. I was
bash PV. I live there.
PV to me is like Mesa. It's just
the thing about it is though, man, is that that is another place that has been trying to like have like a relevant music scene for a long time. And you know,
it's just not. It's never worked. I guess now that you say that, and I think about what you're saying. Yeah. It's never really worked.
Well, no,
it
starts to. Remember
Why
the
Not
Amazona?
used to be there. Club Amazona.
Remember the Amazona? The Why Not? Dude, I played at both those places.
The Jackass.
Yeah. Well, the Jackass is still viable.
But none of those. You're right though. All that's gone now.
Well, no, the Jackass is still there. Those two bars are gone. But those two bars.
I like Sidekicks. It's a good room.
It's a good room, and it's
but
just
the very
huge.
first night I ever played there.
Oh no,
were you there?
No. But I hear things, man.
Yeah. The very first night I played there, I almost knocked a guy out. And,
what happened?
In between my break.
What happened? Tell us what happened.
Drunk people are just fascinating.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to say a name because he may have been on your podcast before. But
Matt Henshaw is very happy you didn't smack him upside the head.
I was up there on stage, and somebody was just being rude and hollering, oh, the bass player sucks, and I let that slide, and then, oh, the drummer sucks, and so we got on break, and my wife tells me, I knew it. I tried to stop you, but I saw the look on your face, and I went right out to that guy, and I said, listen to me, you son of a, what the, I mean, you know me. What? Yeah, the beeps. I can't even explain to you what I said. So, because I said, essentially, in so many words, what is your problem? Why are you being so rude? I would never go to a show, anybody's show, and ever say such a disrespectful thing. He stood up, looked at me, and I said, "Do it, do it."
Yeah.
And he just stood there. And turned around and sat back down. And that made it worse because then Jim had to come grab me and drag me out of there. Jim, the owner, drug me out of there, out back to the smoking area. And said, Danny, I understand you're upset. Yeah, that guy's a jerk, but you got 2 more sets, bro. Are we going to finish this?
Man.
So we finished out the night, and I got to say, Jim's my kind of guy. He handled it.
Yeah.
He understands cowboys. He understands a-holes, and he put it together, and we played the rest of the night.
Anyway, point being, at that place, not only but those things, that's where you get bands from. That's where you get a music scene from.
Yeah.
And Sky's doing that, right? Larley and Jim are supporting that thing. God bless them for it. But they're also doing things where they're trying to expand what they do.
Yeah.
They're having No Country Fridays and stuff. And so the thing is the road doesn't need any more help.
Yeah.
It's a destination already. If you want to have, and I say this to Danny and everybody that's a musician, if you want to have other places to play, right, you kind of have to help these venues out a little bit by showing, and plus, like I said, man, it's fun, When else am I going to play get a chance to play guitar with George Janik? Because he's always busy or whatever.
And back to Sidekicks, I was out there this past Sunday. Sky runs the every other Sunday jam session. It's kind of a country based, but a lot of different.
Well, they open it up. It's whatever you want to do.
And then the Jersey Lilies is more of a classic rock. But when I was out there Sunday, George was up there.
Yeah.
Glenn, Les, you were out there.
Well, I played rock and roll at Sidekicks, and I know. And previously I played Merle. I played Merle at the thing. So it's nobody really gets
Mike
upset.
Hutchinson was on drums, but there was a great show going on. I posted some videos on the Mile High.
Yeah, I saw it.
If you could have just kept that Les guy off, it would have been awesome.
But there was nobody. There was only 6 people in the audience, and that's what I think I tagged it in the post was. This happens every other Sunday. Where are you at? Because this was a great show, and Jim's keeping the troublemakers out.
Well, yeah, like me.
Well, no, it's just kind of with the guys at work. To be fair, guys at work. One of the things is, man, is that you get, you're playing 3 or 4 nights a week, and you don't have that burn to go play, and
on a Sunday. Yeah, see, for me, Sundays are for my family.
Well, it's Sunday. The thing is that
me.
The thing about it is, man, is that thing about it is that you kind of have to you got to support the beast.
Yeah,
you have to support.
And
the
then
beast.
They're expanding a little bit once a month. I believe it's the last Friday of every month. Yeah. Bobby Johnson, Mellow B Entertainment, is bringing up a comedy show to Sidekicks once a month out of Phoenix. Mike Dapper's been hosting.
What night?
It's
now, see, like he's all excited about
well,
that.
It's Friday
now.
nights, and
does it start late? I would go after my
I
Palace
think
show.
It starts at like 9.
Oh, I got to see
But it runs
this.
till late. Bobby Johnson, who was on the podcast 3-4 weeks ago, him and Mike Dapper. Mike's been hosting it. Mike will be back up. Now, one of the guys that's coming up, former guest of the show, and I don't know when he's coming up, if it's going to be this month or in April, Jonathan Gregory.
So you like this guy?
I can't describe it. Just got to see Jonathan perform. He's hilarious. Creepy John. He is anyway, funny guy. He'll be coming up, but they do it. I believe it's the last Friday of every month, or it might be the third Friday. I don't know. I'll put it up again in the show notes. But Mellow B Entertainment comes up every once a month from Phoenix, and he runs 3 shows a week in Phoenix, featuring some of the top comics. One of the ones who he brought up here in the past, a friend of mine, Michael Longfellow, based out of Phoenix, now has recently moved to L.A., made his late-night debut 2 nights ago on the Conan O'Brien Show with a really good set. I had a chance to see him at Stir Crazy a couple of months ago. But Michael Longfellow, he's like 22 years old.
So when are we going to get you to do
Hilarious
a set, like
guy.
a set of comedy, man? I mean, not just sort of like on your show. Like,
Well, let's get. I know we got. We'll
all-
switch gears, and again, the elderly will forget about that last comment. So, Danny, I want you to talk a little bit before you got to go. I know you
Right.
got to go, and I got to cut out of here in a few minutes. Talk a little bit about your EP that you've been recording with Dylan Ludwig over at Raven Studios. I want you to explain a little bit about what you've got coming up, who played on it, the process of doing that, and of course, we want to look forward to it. Earlier today, what we were doing here in the garage was recording some little teaser videos that we'll have up shortly. But tell us a little bit about your EP, why you decided to go in studio, and what led up to that decision.
Well, I almost died 6 years ago, and had that had happened, I'd had nothing to leave behind for anything that I ever did in music. All these songs I've been singing for all these years, songs that I've written, my own songs, have never been professionally recorded. I mean, you might find somebody on a Snapchat or on a.
You had a CD several years ago that was that self-produced.
Well, I did a little 4-song acoustic thing with Sky, on guitar, but something that was real, something that you could hold in your hand, something that had a cover to it and a story. You know what I mean? I've never had any of that.
Yeah.
Never done it. I've never pursued it. So about 3 months ago, I told my guitar player Georgie, I said, Georgie, we need to record these songs.
Yeah.
I said, it's time. And the band was going through a lot of changes, Arizona Territory Band, as bands do. But I told him, I said, we need to get these songs done. I need to record these songs. This is my legacy. It's all I have. I said, we've been playing these things for 15 years, and we've done nothing with them. So that's what started it. So I went in and recorded.
And where'd you go?
I went to...
Tell us the process.
I've been told about The Raven by Nick Canuel and Parker Smith. They told me that they had great equipment, and Dylan really knew what he was doing. So that's where I went. And I wanted to keep it in Prescott. I didn't want to go to Phoenix. I looked in Phoenix quite a bit, and that's where I had planned on going. But only because we had nothing here. This was about a year ago, year and a half. I mean, it's been on my mind for a while, but until I got serious. So the Raven opening up really was, Raven Sound really was perfect for me because I wanted to stay here and record it here where my heart is.
Yeah.
So anyway, I am it's a process. I've never recorded before, so I have learned so much. And
you had mentioned, because we all know you, and folks around here know you and your guitar and your hat.
Right.
From playing around. You've been playing pretty steady with Jordan on fiddle.
Jordan on fiddle, Georgie on bass. Guitar.
On guitar. So who else is involved with this? Because didn't
well,
Dylan
we have
bring in
studio.
some people?
Yeah, Dylan brought in a couple studio guys, a drummer and bass player, and boy, how incredible! I mean, they laid down. It's like I feel like in construction, it would be the foundation.
Yeah,
the concrete has been poured and it's solid to build a home on. That's what the bass and drums are. It's like the foundation. And boy, were these guys incredible.
Now, you've been pretty used to playing live.
Yeah.
Just going out
Right.
and going for it. Now, here, as you're going in and doing
In a
each
controlled
section and
environment.
stuff,
Yeah,
how was that for you? Was that a little...
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time. I mean, I tried to lay down some vocal tracks and couldn't get it done. It's
Whole different
hard.
process.
Yeah, it's hard for me not to have energy. There's no energy there.
Yeah.
So, and my energy, I'm such an emotional person, I feed off of what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So to stand in a box and listen, it's difficult, and the whole time, your mind is on trying to use proper technique and breathe right and your pronunciation and diction and all these things, it's hard to get away from thinking about that.
Didn't Dylan tell you to just like the big thing is you go in your head and you stop thinking about that stuff?
It's hard.
Didn't he tell you? Didn't he tell you that?
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what I would.
You can tell somebody something all you want, but getting there is a different thing.
It's tough.
It's and the other thing is, George is playing the guitar parts, and he's a pro.
Yeah.
And even still, it's difficult. Georgie, as good as he is, it still took a few takes.
I hate to backtrack, but Sunday at Sidekicks when he didn't have his guitar because he had his bass, so he just grabbed a right-handed guitar, flipped it upside down. He sounded better than most players playing backwards.
I love playing. I so very rarely ever get to do that. I told him, look, dude, bring your electric guitar and your acoustic amp next time. I'll come get you.
Yeah. So what do you got? What are you going to have on there? It's an EP.
All right, so
five, six.
There's 6 tracks. Mama Raised an Outlaw, Tent City Blues, Gone Done It Again, Empty Halls and Broken Walls, Ode to Bodie, and my song for my best friend that died in a truck wreck. It's called Bryce's Song. I forgot about that one.
Now, when we were recording earlier here today, there was one. Was it? Which one was it that you said you didn't want to do because it's
Ode to Bodie.
Now, what's added to it that you?
Well, it's just heavy on bass and drums, and a lot of guitar. It's I guess to define it would be to say that it would be a la Waylon Jennings.
Nice.
Just the alternating bass, the 4-beat, just the da 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 to the whole song. And it's really heavy on guitar.
You got a title for the EP yet?
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
No. But I did think about asking my suegro, my father-in-law, to do the cover art.
Nice.
Because I'm thinking about doing cover art rather than an image
photo,
or something. Yeah. So
Cool.
It's funny. All these things are coming to me as I go through this.
Any kind of time frame? What are we looking at? Are you because you're still in studio, right?
The steel parts will be done this weekend, and then Jordan needs to get in there and do his fiddle parts. I would love to see it done in about 6 weeks.
Nice.
The recording part.
Yeah.
Now, I have no idea where to get the CDs pressed. I don't know who you send off to get the little covers with the art put on it and made. I don't know how I do all that yet. I have no idea.
So we're looking at spring, early summer to see.
I would say the release party would be in June or July.
Nice. Well, we look forward to it. What else you got coming up? Where are you playing? You got the Palace.
I love my
Friday.
Palace every Friday. Yeah, I love
4 to
that
8?
gig. 5 to 8.
5 to 8.
And then, of course, Saturday we're up at the Black Cat in Seligman. I love playing there, man. I've got some old memories of people knocking the Paul's upright bass over, and somebody hit my mic and pop right on the concrete. Oh, I got great memories. But it still works,
as you'll be able to hear.
Yeah,
in
it still works.
Videos that we're going to post.
I haven't sung in that mic in years. Yeah. But and then of course I got the Mecca for the Cowpuncher Spring Reunion. That's March 16th, and
so go to
next week.
Wickenburg.
In Wickenburg.
Now,
I post everything to my Facebook page.
You were down in Wickenburg at the Mecca a couple weeks ago, weren't you? What was the crowd like?
It was packed.
What were you doing down there?
Well, they had their gold rush. They had their gold rush days. So they got they got a senior rodeo that comes through town and a big parade.
Nice.
I'm telling you, there was 300
senior
people
rodeo.
in that place.
You could have rode.
It was unbelievably packed.
I couldn't, of course, because
you're too damn old.
Because I'm young and I don't know.
You're
how
too
to
damn
ride a
old and
horse.
you're bigger than most of the horses. So it's like
I'll ride my steel horse. It's right over there on the other side of that wall.
Go to my Facebook pages where I post everything
Gotcha.
at Arizona Territory Band.
All right. Well, we better get out of here. We got to get you back to work. Les has to go over and make sure they don't blow the place up at Big Daddy's. Big Daddy's, BDEBBQ.com, the unofficial sponsor of all things Mile High. And what do you got coming up? What's your next gig? This will go up Saturday.
I will be playing the St. Patrick's Day weekend, Friday and Saturday at Prescott Winery, a very fine place to have wine and good food, and I will have enough time to do that, and then go home and then watch everybody drive crazy.
and then you can catch Les playing wherever live music is being played.
Sooner or later, yeah. I missed one. I missed one. The Northern Arizona Blues Alliance has started a blues specific jam that they're going to have their inaugural jam up at the Windsock. I'm gonna go over there and look see what's going on.
That's going to be recurring.
It's supposed to be every other week.
Every other week.
I guess Connie decided to go.
Cool.
With it, So I gotta go see.
Nice.
I gotta go at least see because it's some people go bowling. So.
Now we see you playing a lot with your 12 string and playing some beautiful music. But every once in a while, when you break out that little what is that you were playing Sunday?
That's my 85 Strat,
and
Betty.
You just wail on that like people. For people that see you playing at the winery and at other places, to see you tear up on that is a real treat.
I think that it actually when I started playing acoustic music only, there were a bunch of people that were like, "But why?"
And then
because band.
And then Danny will be seeing you at the Palace and everywhere else.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Cowboy music is played. No, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in and doing this video.
Sure.
We'll have these posted up. I'm
gonna do this soon, but not until Matt gets back.
Yeah, and all our archives are at milehighshow.com, along with that Amazon and Audible link. So spend money online and use our link, so I don't have to go to your house and borrow money.
Mama raised an outlaw and doing things that no one ever saw. Mama raised an outlaw, unrefined, jagged-edged and raw. Yeah, back in 1995, running through the desert far and wide. So sure on where I've been, taking it my life of sin. I tripped up a time or two, doing what I ain't supposed to do. Playing with my hillbilly band, you never know where I land. It's Mama raised an outlaw, doing things that no one ever saw. Mama raised an outlaw, unrefined, jagged-edged and raw. Well, I'm racing hell in them honky-tonks, drinking something I ain't bought. Picked a fist fight or two, but I always fought my way through. I cranked up on AC/DC, running so fast, never catch me. I'd buck the bridle once or twice. Yeah, don't mess with me, I'm nothing nice. Because Mama raised an outlaw, doing things that no one ever saw. Mama raised an outlaw, unrefined, jagged-edged and raw.
Okay. I'm good.